you're like me, you have started seeing protein on the front of all packaging everywhere. I've seen it on candy, chips, breakfast cereals, breakfast treats, sodas, waters, everything, absolutely everything, even things that already have protein, like yogurt. It's getting a little absurd in my opinion, and so today we're talking all about protein, specifically how much is actually necessary. Let's get on into it. So with all this packaging telling us that this food has added protein, and all across media platforms, everyone's talking about protein and how much protein you need, and you need to get all of these, grams per kilogram in and all of this, right? It's really easy to get caught up in that and feel like you need to be consuming 80 grams of protein at every meal, right? Well, I'm here to challenge that notion and help you to think critically about your own body and your own health needs. Now, in this video, what I am going to do is tell you what the current guidelines are and how to look at them in your own diet. What I can't do in this video is tell you exactly how much your body needs, because as a dietitian, there is so much more that goes into deciding how much protein a body needs. In addition to your height, your activity level, all this kind of stuff, you also need to think about how well protein digests for you. You also need to think about what type of protein your body thrives off of the most, because while plant-based protein can give you all the nutrients that you need, it digests differently. And so if you're new to a plant-based diet or you're trying to add more plant-based protein, too much too fast can make you feel bloated. So there is a lot of nuance that goes into making diet recommendations. And that is not something I can do on a YouTube video. But what I can do is talk about the science and talk about some general guidelines that can help you make a decision on how much protein your body needs. And if you need more of that, see a dietitian, right? There is some great resources out there to connect with dietitians like Faye, which is the one I am on. There's also Nourish. And if you go to eatright.org, which is the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics main website, there is a link in there called Find a Dietitian that I will link down below. And any dietitian that is also connected with the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics will be listed there. So you can find a local dietitian that is near to you. Number one question that I want to start off with is, why are you interested in eating more protein? Think about that for a minute. Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to achieve a certain health metric? Maybe weight loss or weight management or blood sugar regulation. Those are some common ones. Or are you just hearing from everyone, and with this information overload, you all of a sudden feel like you need to eat more protein? All of these questions are really important to ask yourself whenever a new type of trend pops up, okay? Especially when it's around a food that is important. Protein is important for our health and longevity and well-being. But when it becomes trendy, what can happen is that we can over-focus on it and then not focus on other things that are also important. You will hear me say this time and time again, nutrition is about the overall big picture of your diet that is outside of just one day, one meal, 1 week, right? It's what your whole lifestyle is like across months and years. That is what adds up over time. So think about those questions for yourself. If you like, you can jot down some answers or just simply think about it. But having that answer for yourself will point you in the direction, in a more strong direction of why this new interest in protein for you. Now, the next thing I want you to think about is if your goals are around building muscle or getting stronger, take a look at what the research is showing for muscle strength and gains. One of my favorite people to go to for plant-based research on nutrition is Simon Hill. I have linked a video of his down below, as well as one of the research articles that he shared in that video. And it's basically explaining that research that was done, there was a whole bunch of research that was analyzed, and what all of those across the board papers found was that 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight is all you need to build muscle size and strength. So if that's what you're going for, you don't necessarily need to go to 2.0 or whatever grams per kilogram or more. You don't really have to go anything higher than 1.6, 1.7 grams per kilogram. You can, but it's not going to give you any added benefit. That being said, if you are not working out, you're not doing resistance training, but you're increasing your protein, it doesn't make you stronger, okay? Just eating protein does not build muscle. In order to build muscle, we have to use the muscle, because when you use the muscle, it breaks down the tissue, the muscle fibers, and then when you eat nutritious foods, it helps repair those muscles, and those muscles grow stronger. And if you do the right type of training, they can grow bigger. Just because you lift weights does not mean that you will grow larger muscles. They might get stronger, but there's a whole science to growing muscles, physically getting bigger muscles. And that is a very specific type of diet and exercise routine. Just going to the gym a couple times a week and lifting a few weights is not going to get you there. So if you want to get stronger, you have to lift and you have to eat enough protein. You can't just eat protein and get stronger. Doesn't work. All right. And finally, what the heck does 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight even look like? Okay. That's a big one, because if you've been part of this channel for a minute, you'll know that I am not a huge fan of counting and measuring and tracking all of these metrics, right? Especially when it comes to nutrition. The reason for that is because it is a part-time, sometimes even a full-time job, even to do these things. So if you're new to understanding your protein needs, it can be beneficial to track it for a period of time, just so you know how much actually feels good in your body. Some people can get away with, 20 grams of protein at a meal and be just fine. Other people need 40 or 50 grams. It's all about your individual lifestyle, your digestion, and all of that, how satiated you feel after a meal. So much goes into it. That's why you see a dietitian, okay? Hey, Editing Kathy here. I'm just popping in to say a quick overview of the person that I'm about to describe and the person who I kind of planned this day of eating for. Because when I originally recorded, I got really wordy and it was like a 10-minute video just to explain this person's one day of diet. So I'm here to make it a lot quicker. The person that I base this off of is a working mom who needs roughly 80 to 110 grams of protein based on her age and weight. And so I did that calculation by taking her height or her weight in kilograms and multiplying it by 1.2, and then taking her weight and multiplying it by 1.6. And that's what gave me the roughly 80 to 100 grams of protein per day. Then she is also a plant-based person. And so I created the upcoming plan that you'll see for her based on that. Now, again, just a quick caveat, we're not focusing on calories, we're not focusing on macros, we're not really focusing on anything other than showing you how easy it is to get protein on a plant-based diet and meet your body's needs for both a sedentary person or a person who doesn't work out a lot, and also for strength building and strength gaining. So yeah, Let's check it out. All right, so we're only at 65 grams. So here is where we can maneuver some things, okay? So what we could do is, if this person enjoys protein shakes, we could easily add a protein shake at a snack time to then go for it. Like that would easily make up the other 30 grams. If they don't, then we could look at things like different like granola bars that are higher in protein. We could look at adding, let's see, we could increase this bean, make it a whole cup of black beans. That added an additional almost 8 grams of protein just for making it a full cup of beans. So that's a great one too. But we're already at 72 grams, which is just shy of the minimum in terms of muscle building, right? Again, this is only focused on muscle building. So if you're not concerned with growing muscle or getting stronger and you're not going to the gym, you wouldn't necessarily need to eat so much, at least so much that I'm describing here. So hopefully this little insight into how to start thinking about protein in a more balanced approach was helpful. Again, I don't want this to be a kind of a way to get you thinking about tracking protein or calories or anything like that, but I'm just here to show you that it's not hard to get the amount of protein that you need. Yeah. So, especially on a plant-based diet, eating whole foods, okay? So helping to kind of cut through some of that noise and all of that. So yeah, so I have linked everything in the description down below, including that video that I mentioned from Simon Hill, as well as the research article that he talked about in that video. Yeah, and if you like this style, definitely subscribe. Tell me in the comments, number one thing, tell me in the comments what you most enjoyed out of this video. Did you like seeing the kind of the overview of the diet that I was talking about, kind of like walking through how much protein things have? Did you like hearing about different kind of hot topic tips that are trending right now in terms of protein and all of that? Because we can talk about fiber, we can talk about protein. I can dive deeper into different ways of eating that feel more intuitive around this topic as well. But yeah, I'm gonna stop there though, because this video has already gotten pretty long, and I hope you enjoyed it. Again, share this with a friend, and all the things, right? Because I'm trying to grow this channel, and I'm also, if you haven't heard, I have a 90-day program that is about to launch at the end of May, and I'm looking for 10 people to sign up for it so we can all go through it together. So if you are interested, or you know someone who would be interested in that, all the information is linked below. It's called Nourish and Flourish, and in this program we deep dive into balanced nutrition, like what that actually means, cutting through the noise, learning to understand your body's subtle cues so that you can learn to eat intuitively and essentially break out of the diet cycle, right? We're inundated all the time with these, you have to do this in order to live forever, and you can't do this anymore, and this is good and this is bad. And this program is to help you cut through all of that noise and listen to your body so that you can live and have a lifestyle and a diet nutrition plan that is suited for you, that feels easy and effortless, and not another thing to add to your to-do list every day. So it's built for busy parents, essentially. So yeah, anyways, I'm getting chatty. It's time for me to go, and I will see you in the next video.